smartphones with social media and a platform to be able to voice their opinion. Facebook seems to be a very common one with all generations being able to speak what's on their mind. A lot of times when scrolling through Facebook, I've seen a particular video of a teacher that goes over a problem through algebra, and it takes her maybe 5 minutes just to go over a singular problem. On the split screen of that, a normal person, don't know who they are, but on that same screen, they do the problem, and it takes them maybe 30 seconds. They find the same solution, but it just shows the amount of work that goes into one problem for the Common Core. Today, I will discuss the issues that the Common Core has for teachers, students, and administrators. Personally, from school and being in a hard math curriculum, I've had to go over a lot of math problems, particularly in AP Calculus, and it takes us so long to just do one problem, and that's because of the requirements for the Common Core. In particular, teachers, they have a lot of extra work that they have to do. They have to fill out paperwork, they have to make sure that the students are learning a particular topic, and they are not allowed to steer away from particular subjects that they have to teach their students. I was listening to the TED Talk by Kratz. I have his name on here. I can't think of his first name. And he is a teacher for a girl named Natalie. I can't think of what. She's just a student that struggles with classes, and he goes on and says that she doesn't have the same ability to learn, which goes on to my next point about students having to do more work, and it's more for students that can learn multiple ways, and I am a visual learner, and Natalie, per se, might not be because of her disability. And for the Common Core, people in the governing body for the Department of Education, they wanted to create a umbrella for education across the nation, and they wanted it to be the same all over. Now, this doesn't work for other cities and states because they don't have the ability of resources for textbooks, and like teachers, sometimes they don't have the same degrees, so it might depend on the classroom setting, and they don't learn as well as another person. Now, the third point that I'm presenting is that the Common Core for students to learn step by step is that the classwork that they have, because it takes so long, it takes away from family time. Now, family, social experiences, and academic activities are essential for students to develop through school and their career. If you take away from that and what Pratt said, instead of teaching algebra, teach the students tangible topics that will prepare them for the future. Now, going back to one of the principles of having the Common Core across the nation is what Ravitch said in one of the New York Times articles against the Common Core. He said that the No Child Left Behind has shown negative effects on students in poverty and segregated areas, which brought me back to the previous statement of students not having the same ability to learn in the same classroom setting. It may take a student 5 minutes to understand a topic, but like myself, in AP Calculus, it took me the entire semester to learn just one topic, and that brought me behind in class. And it's not, it, teachers don't have the ability, because of the restricted schedule that they have and requirements, to be able to go back and teach that to one particular student. So the student then has to stay after class, get extra help, tutoring, just because one student might be left behind, which in turn negates the No Child Left Behind policy that they have in place. Although the Common Core has had some negative effects, people would argue that the Common Core prepares students for standardized tests. But standardized tests are not always the greatest for students in college preparedness. Now, they do create a competitive edge for students, but no studies support a true relationship between national standards and economic competitiveness, which means that students that try to prepare for tests, sometimes for the Common Core and like the SAT and the ACT, that they perform no better or sometimes worse, according to Mathis, one of the Common Core standards initiatives that I found on the database. And he's one of the teachers for the Educational Policy Center, and they did studies that showed that students, yes, they may have performed better, may not have, but it shows that the Common Core not always a positive thing. Teachers, again, have standards and are set for the entire nation, which could be a good thing for the entire population, but some states may have learned a different way than other states, which leaves students on different levels when it comes to what they're learning. So overall, the Common Core has presented negative solutions for the average classroom. This includes more work for not only teachers, but the students. And Common Core does not always allow everyone to learn at the same rate. Although the government and the Department of Education wanted to create a more unified program for the teaching, the solution ultimately